Start with Seth Emerson and Anthony Dasher.
Ben, what's this year been like at quarterback? I know that you kind of block for everybody the same, but is there any problem with it having so many guys rotating in and not having a certain starter week to week?
I don't think that's a problem. I would consider that to be more of a positive than anything, just because you've got it's like any other position. You want to have good depth for guys that can go in there and compete at any given time. So I think that having 3 or 4 guys back there rolling in, I think that's definitely been a positive for us, just because it gives us that extra backbone that we need should something go wrong.
Hey, Ben, how difficult has it been to prepare for this season in regards to, I mean, you don't know if you're going to play one week, you might play the next. As a player, what's the most difficult part about that?
It is tough, just like last week, because, I mean, going into Monday, we had no idea that, we weren't going to get to play. So, you really just got to make it about ourselves, doing everything that we need to do to prepare ourselves, regardless of what team we're playing, who we're playing, where we're playing at. So, you really just got to approach it with the mindset of doing this, to make our team better, make myself better. Everybody kind of has their own individual goals for each week. And so, that's one thing that we really strive to accomplish regardless.
Next, we'll go to Jake Rowe, then Chip Towers.
Ben, you've had a whole season at this point to kind of line up against scout team guys, against good guys, and I figure as good a time as any. When you're out there, is there anybody, whether it's somebody you line up against and have to block one-on-one, or just a defender in general, scout team or whatever, that you just, that you go up against every day, and this guy may not play or whatever, but you're just like, man, this guy's got a future. This guy he gives me trouble or anything like that? Is there anybody that's just kind of a load to handle out there for you?
With our defense, having some guys down and everything like that, as we've had this year, a lot of the guys that we see on the scout team, are the ones playing on Saturdays. A lot of guys will come down there and they'll take some scout team reps and they'll go get their good on good reps. But I would say, there's a couple of guys like Warren Brinson, Stackhouse, of course. There's some young guys. They're definitely might get some reps before the end of the year's out, but they're definitely going to have an impact here in the next 3 or 4 years.
Ben, I'm just wondering what you did on the sudden off weekend, and I'm just guessing it had something to do with hunting, fishing, or possibly golf.
No, it wasn't no golf. Did a little hunting, did a little bow fishing Saturday night, and other than that, just enjoying my time off, hanging out, just kind of taking my mind off football, watched a little bit of the Masters. But, yeah, bow fishing and golf, that's about it.
Pardon me, what is bow fishing exactly?
Yeah, basically like, let's see, you take a bow and arrow that's got a fishing reel attached to it, and you shoot the fish with an arrow and you reel them in. Seriously? Yeah, it's pretty difficult. It's actually pretty hard to get figured out.
Did you any luck?
Yeah, we shot quite a bunch of gar and carp and catfish, so it wasn't too bad of a night.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Mark Weiser, then Connor Riley.
Hey, Ben, I'm curious, just with JT coming in the summer, how he's kind of fit in with the team in the months he's been here. Then with Stetson sideline, I guess last week to get more work with the ones and how that went for you all.
It was a very smooth transition. JT has spent a lot of time working on himself. He's been running, 90% of the scout team offense. He's really been focusing on learning the playbook, getting himself healthy, and preparing himself for this moment. And I will say that about all of our quarterbacks. They've all been prepared when their number was called, and I don't expect this to be any different.
Thank you.
After a tough start to the season there, it seems like the offensive line has really come together and stabilized. What do you chalk that up to?
It's like everything else. You have to get in a routine, get in a habit. You've got to have guys that are going out and pushing each other. And I think that's what we've started doing a lot better job at. The offensive line, Coach Luke, everybody really, encouraging and making sure that, we're going in the right direction, doing the things we need to be doing. So, we've been finding our rhythm, getting ourselves in that slot that we can get out there and just go compete.
We've still got plenty of time. We can open it up for questions.
Ben, I'm just curious of your observations of the offense. I know you've been on some pretty prolific offenses while you've been here. Are you frustrated by the struggles you guys have had, or is it kind of understandable given the circumstances such as they've befallen you guys?
I wouldn't say that I'm frustrated. I would say that I understand. We're all humans. Nobody's going to have a perfect game. Nobody's going to call a perfect play, anything like that. And, like I said just a couple of minutes ago, it's all about finding that rhythm, finding that routine, and, just getting in a groove and making sure you keep on that track. I've never had any doubt, all season, that we were going to find what we needed to find and get in that. We've definitely started falling into that track.
Ben, there's this kind of, I guess it's kind of this narrative out there that, Georgia just wants to play kind of conservative offense, lean on defense, win games that way. What would you say to that narrative? Is that what you guys want as an offense, or is it more of is there a lot more to it than that?
We definitely want to go out and just, obviously the ground and pound game, wear defenses out, just really get on them because, we're very big up front. So, we have that ability to wear guys out, and we want to run the ball and be able to take chances whenever we need to. But, I think a lot of that falls into the hands of the quarterbacks and what they feel comfortable with. And, there's a lot more that goes into it rather than just seeing, this play versus this play. There's safety rotations and pressures and everything else that, impacts all those decisions. So, there's a lot more that goes into it than we can see, really from the outside. You've got to peel those layers back. But, I think we definitely want to go and attack teams and, wear them out.
You talked about safety rotations. I assume that usually doesn't apply to you. Do you ever kind of feel for the quarterbacks, maybe some of the stuff that they have to absorb and some of the decisions they may have to make on the fly, or do you think the offensive line has it tougher?
I wouldn't say that the offensive line has it tougher. I do believe that the offensive line definitely has one of the most challenging positions on the field. But, a quarterback, you have to know every position. You've got to know your job plus the 10 guys beside you. And then you've got to see everything that's happening, and we expect him to get it right. So, I definitely think they have a lot of pressure on their plate. But, all those guys, that's what they do. They're made to handle that. So, we put full faith in them, and, more times than not, they get us in the right spot.
Last question, if anyone would like it.
Ben, do you remember what it's like to play a game in Sanford Stadium, and what will it be like to kind of get back in there for a game?
It'll be nice to get back. It's always nice playing in front of the home crowd. It has been a while, a couple of unfortunate events, obviously not being able to play this past weekend's kind of it's giving us some more time off, but it's also giving our bodies some more time to recover. So, more guys can come out, take care of injuries, do some extra things for their bodies to get them back to where they need to be. So, both positive and negatives come from it. So, all we can do is take advantage of it.